Good morning, good morning, good morning. My first video got taken down for too much personal information. I don't know if it was the screenshot of the medical marijuana card that was outdated or what. But this scumbag motherfucker got convicted, Fedral Court in Muskogee, Friday, on 3 counts. And we are going to do a share screen. And give a rundown. United States versus Forrester. I'm just going to scroll down through it. Now, they had a suppression hearing for some of his statements that he made right after he was arrested. That's what this is talking about. 3-count indictment of murder in Indian country, violation of 18 U.S.C. 111, carrying a brandishing or discharging a firearm during the relation to a crime of violence in violation of 18 U.S.C. 924 and causing the death of a person in the course. And there's several more. He dismembered this lady, my ex-sister-in-law. There was so much more that they could have put on him. I don't know why they didn't, but it said that, would commit murder in Indian country on or around October 31st of 2023. The victim's body was discovered inside a wooden chest located in the trunk of a vehicle in Heavener, Oklahoma on November the 2nd. Defendant was arrested for the murder and taken to LaFleur County Jail, where the FBI and Special Agent Brett Collins of the National and Choctaw Nation White Horse Police Investigator LPNU Walden interviewed the defendant the same day. In the motion and response brief, the parties provided audio only, not video, as well as a generated transcript for the court's review. In its response, the government urges the court to look at the context of the entire conversation and asserts that sometimes the defendant would not audibly answer questions, but instead answer using body language. See docket number 34, page 3. The undersigned magistrate judge set the motion for suppression hearing on Monday, July 8, 2024. Shortly before the hearing, the government filed an amended response to the defendant's motion, attaching a video of the interview for the first time. My question is, you fucking idiots, if you're claiming that he used body language and whatnot to answer questions, why not supply the video to begin with? It says it's unclear if both parties had access to the video at the time the motion and the responses were filed, but the undersigned magistrate judge confirmed the defendant's counsel had reviewed it before the hearing. The government offered no explanation in the amended response for the delay or why the amendment was necessary at the time. And then it tells what the interview captures. And then here is a small portion of the transcript of what went down in that interview. He signed his waiver, acknowledged his rights, and Here it is. And just to be clear, Google, his address is federal custody. Okay? I'm not doxing this guy. He is a convicted murderer. This is a news story for education and for the public to know that they can sleep well at night. And now, if you're all about protecting a convicted murderer's fucking information and the fact that he's locked up in federal penitentiary, you go ahead and take this video down too. But we know what it's all really about. And the nephew that he speaks of in this sentence was an infant that was a family member of his that she had custody on that was born addicted to methamphetamine. And of course, he's pulling some sociopathic, narcissistic bullshit and blaming the victim for her own death and dismemberment. And that's one I don't understand why they didn't get him on desecration of a body after the fact. And he says that there's absolutely 100% foul play in his nephew's death. But he's trying to lay that on her. And anybody that knows this cat knows that he's the one. I don't know why they don't look into that any further after this conversation. But anyway, he claims that he's been trying to get help from them for 17 years. His own father was subpoenaed to testify against him, and I don't know if he ever showed up or not, but his dad absolutely has nothing to do with him because he's this way. And from my understanding, I'm going to be working on getting the entire trial, anything I can get, transcript, audio, video. But he blames it all on a tattoo she got, supposedly connected to the nephew that he dispatched. But he claims that he's been trying to get help from law enforcement for 17 years. And like I said, this is just a small, I guess this is what they were wanting to get suppressed. Because like I said, right at the very, very, very start, he says, he done it. So somewhere in here, when they're asked if he killed her, he said, you fucking, he says he did. And then to claim 100% knowledge of foul play in an infant's death. If nothing else, he's guilty of conspiracy after the fact to cover it up. And like I said, I'm not reading. I've read over this once. I'm more scrolling through it for the content, and y'all can read it. And I can tell you that the family officially has nothing to say to any of y'all. If they have anything to add to this, it will be via this channel and me alone. Um, Anybody showing up trying to get anything will be considered prior warned. You will be trespassing, and appropriate measures will be taken. Whether it's law enforcement called to have you removed or if I'm there, leave them alone. They ain't got nothing to say to nobody. None of y'all. So, consider yourself informed, forewarned, however you need to do it. And but anybody that knows this young lady, regardless of her fault, mistakes, knows that she's not capable of harming a baby. So, anybody commenting? I cannot see any comments right now because I'm not on the StreamYard. I forgot I have a different monitor I can attach them. It might work the way I wanted it to. Well. There were several times that he indicated he was done talking to him. He didn't say it, but by saying done and whatnot, that I would have, had I been the interrogator, I'd have left him. And just to double down, made him call me back, to where there was no possibility of anything getting suppressed. and caused this right here. They may reinitiate questioning if these four conditions are met. At the time the defendant invoked the right to remain silent, the question ceased. A substantial interval passed before the second interrogation. The defendant was given a fresh set of Miranda warnings. The subject of the second interrogation unrelated to the first. So, and by saying I'm done, and not I'm done talking to you, I need a lawyer or anything of that. And I may have missed it in there. I did not see that. I just kept seeing where he said I'm done, that they hadn't helped him, that he was going to prison. Um, and it said defendant uses the phrase I'm done 6 times during the interrogation. Invoking of the right to remain silent did not require a ritualistic, formal, or talismanic phrase in order to invoke. So they're saying about that. And see, I took it could mean anything, but when he says I'm done and continues to speak, yeah. Anyway, that's also the reason I would have walked away and keep sitting with it. Um, and so, see, he said he was done and then started talking. So, and like I said, that part of it was just more about having it suppressed, and so forth. Supreme Court's bright line rule in Edwards: police must scrupulously adhere to the request for silence. Stop the interrogation, give space to a suspect to reinitiate the conversation on his own, where police officers no break the courts have found a fifth violation. Says they did not immediately cease questioning and offered no break after his unequivocally invocation of his fifth to remain silent, rather than scrupulously honoring the invocation and immediately ceasing the interrogation following the invocation. Officers waited for the defendant to make the next move. Once the defendant began speaking after silence, the agents asked if the defendant was requesting an attorney, not whether he was invoking the separate right to remain silent. The right at issue here, under the totality of the circumstances, the undersigned magistrate finds that the officer's silence appears to be tactically designed to wear down the resistance to make him change his mind. For 15 seconds, anyway, that's where he not walked away from him. So I see fuck ups on both sides. Um, see, but anyway, I'm done. That don't, you know, because he started out saying, I'm done, I'm going to prison. So, but to err on the side of caution, and if I'm scrolling too fast, everybody's welcome to go back and pause it. But anyway, it says, according to the other side hereby propose the findings set forth above and recommends that the defendant opposed motion to suppress statements and brief in the support thereon docket number 29 be granted. Defendant statements being 702 of the general transcript should be suppressed except for the purpose of impeachment. Any objections to the report recommendations must be filed within 14 days. So because they mishandled it, they were able to suppress all of them statements. I have submitted prior to all of this request for the interview and everything else. I was told that it was still under investigation and denied, and then some stuff disappeared. But anyway, so by mishandling of the interrogation, they pretty much got his confession or deferment to the fact of his guilt suppressed. They wasn't able to use it. Either way, the scumbag motherfucker is rotting in federal penitentiary. Uh, I'm not sure when the sentencing date is. Um, and I've got to find that out. And I encourage everyone to reach out to them to give life plus a day without possibility. Here's all the info. Because he has made what I would call a credible threat to people if he ever sees the light of day. What's up, Mr. Mitchell? How are you? Anytime we put a murderous bastard like this where he belongs, it's a good day. To me, the best day would be his sentence to be tortured mentally, physically, and spiritually until his end by those that he inflicted harm upon. So and that would still be a bit too good for him. So the best thing for those that still live in fear if he ever gets out would be simply to end his subscription to oxygen as soon as possible. So anyway, rotten hell, motherfucker. Rotten hell. I hope every day you spend in that motherfucker, you relive all the terrible things that you have done, and they're magnified upon you on a mental, physical, and spiritual way tenfold on a daily basis. May any that support you, including that give birth to you by any type of social support, finances, or anything else, may they find the wreckage that they feed. May she experience the horror that bringing you into this world did on the world. And may she experience the horror and the terror that your victim did in the same manners. Only because the support and claims of your innocence and her firsthand knowledge of your evil and enabling that evil to continue in this world. May she reap the whirlwind. So, oh, and Sister Sarah, we know you were involved too, and your crimes are soon to catch up to you too. You and that hussy of a scumbag girlfriend you have. Not to mention that horrible, horrible mother that you shared with the victim. So may the victim finally rest in peace and be completely delivered and redeemed from the hell that was this earth and that life. So, there's that, Google and YouTube. Can you dox somebody's address when they're in federal custody? Can I provide any information that is not public knowledge? No. Can you still strike this video and whatnot for retaliation against me and the business we have on personal levels? Probably. Is it likely? Man, it's 50-50. Is it a good look for YouTube or Google? Absolutely not. So, because this is simply a newsworthy matter that the public deserves to have, especially those of LaFleur County, in the Heavener, Worcester, Podo area, that there's a psychotic killer that is not roaming the fucking streets and not likely to be roaming the streets anytime in the near future. So, with that said, like I said, may all who perpetuated, enabled, or encouraged this evil, may you all meet the evil of your own, and may it be so much worse. And may every day you spend be full of suffrage beyond human capacity to understand. May you be inflicted and turmoiled in ways that the devil himself wished he would have come up with. Um, rotten fucking hell. I can't say it enough. Rip your desserts, reap the consequences, and I will savor it daily. So there's that. We'll see how Google responds. Until then, folks, remember, a wood chipper is the only cure for a pedo PDF file, and probably politicians too. They suffer from the same. So anyway, till then.